Hey everybody, welcome to Cats Creations on a Sunday at 2. So I just decided, we had talked about this yesterday when we did the unboxing, that we would try to incorporate doing something today, even though I'm going live in my private group at 5 tonight doing the Halloween lantern swag. So I just figured, you know what, I bought the Deco mesh yesterday. I thought that this would make a gorgeous bubble wreath with all the bands, the metallic foil bands in this burlap jute mesh. So that's what we're going to be making today. It will finish out at 22 inches in diameter, about 5.5 to 6 inches thick. We're going to add this amazing Subway sign. That's kind of what I call these signs. I think that's what Jane calls them as well. This is pumpkin spice and everything nice. That's what autumn's made out of. And I know a lot of people aren't even ready to get started into fall, but we are. And because we've been doing so much Halloween stuff, I thought let's mix it up a little bit. Let's throw in some fall, because I'm dreaming of colder weather. Even though it's, I think, the last I checked, 106. Did you look when you went out?
Well, no, it says 97.
No, 97 here?
Yeah.
Because when I checked the air temperature in the nest, it says 104 outside.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty darn hot out here. So
I'll say hi to everybody really quick. Hi, Carol, Phyllis.
Hi, Carol, Phyllis.
Mona, or Rick Mona Vance.
Okay.
Jan, Janet, Judy, Sandra, Jane, Cheryl, Dina, Christina, Audrey, Charlotte, Gail, and Kathy.
Awesome.
And Linda.
Okay. So this was the Deco mesh that Steve shared pictures of, or I shared pictures of, that we picked up at Joann's. We're going to be using this ribbon and this ribbon that I got at Joann's. So Joann's is slowly starting to put out their fall stuff. So I thought these colors would look amazing with that sign, because the sign's got a little bit of a dark brown, almost a burgundy tone to it. And then if you notice, it's got kind of like a burgundy, kind of brownish foil. So it's gold, orange, and that burgundy color. So starting off with a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You guys know it's my go-to. We're probably going to add a couple different other ribbons maybe in it to kind of finish off this look, but it should be relatively simple, but it looks amazing. So any questions before we start?
Everybody's just jumping on saying hi.
Okay, awesome. I know it's a little bit different from you guys. We're going a little bit earlier. So like I said, I just wanted to make sure that my public group is taken care of as well as my private group. So that's why we're doing this one. And I couldn't wait to use this to see if I really like the way it turns out. So to start a bubble wreath, it's really simple. All you're going to need is pipe cleaners, some zip ties, a wreath frame of your choice. I'm trying to think of what else as far as materials. Whatever Deco mesh size you want to do. With me doing a 21-inch Deco mesh, we're going to be doing 10-inch what we call bubbles, but it's the same process as if you're doing a poof. We're just going to be stacking them in the section. So if you look at the wreath frame, what you're going to basically be doing is you're only going to be wiring the middle, the very, very middle section. So I call these rails 2 and 3. So we're going to be putting 5 poofs or bubbles in each of the sections. And then to get from one section to another, we're going to actually, from the 5th one, as we get our measuring our 10, we will jump, and then that one becomes our first one in the next section. So hopefully that helps you guys. And you can do these on any size wreath frame. If you have one that only has 3 rails, you can do the same. You would just almost kind of do a zigzag, so it won't be a perfect round, but it'll still give you that same bubble effect. So if you're going to go out and plan for it, try to look for a wire wreath form with 4 rails. So, okay, I'm starting. So,
Everybody's saying thank you for doing an additional live.
Awesome. Of course, I have to start prepping for my marathon, right? So I figured 2 back-to-backs would be a good stimulate to see if I could finish in time. So as you guys know, when we're poofing, we normally fold, but in this case we're not. So all we're gonna do is gather up the very top part and pull all that raw cut edge to a particular point, and this is very hairy, very fuzzy.
Very rough.
Yeah. So we're gonna take this, and this is gonna go in the middle between wreath frames 2 and 3. You're gonna pull it to the weld mark so it kind of like overlaps the weld mark, and then you're gonna take a zip tie and you're gonna zip tie it to either rail 2 or rail 3 to take that big bunch of cut edge and contain it. So it's your choice. It doesn't, you don't have to pick 2, you don't have to pick 3. You just want to make sure you're combining the big ball of mess so it doesn't go anywhere. So just like so, and then cut your zip tie off. So that is the way that we start a bubble. So it's a little bit different than a poof. Now you could start a poof this way. There's nothing that says that you have to do it a totally different way. For me, it's easier to take my mesh and just drop this down below, so it's not something I have to contend with over here. I will be taking pipe cleaners though. So in order to do the bubble wreath, you measure exactly 10 inches. You can do 9 inches, you can do 8 inches. Just whatever measurement you pick, be consistent. So be right on the money. And it helps if you kind of make sure that it's not folding over on itself, so that when you take this and you push it forward, you shouldn't have any folds really in it as you're gathering. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push it forward up against that weld mark. I'm trying to get this under 2 and 3. Nope, there we go.
Sandra says she's got a tennis just like that, and then Deanna says she just finished a bubble wreath with the same exact mesh.
Really?
Yeah.
Aw, I wish I could have seen that before I started. I just wanted to do this one. When I saw it, I was like, that would make a really pretty bubble. So there is our first bubble or poof, and all we're gonna do is measure out 10-inch sections perfectly, unfluff your ribbon just to make sure that your sections are even.
Yes, and that is from Joann's.
This is from Joann's. So this is Joann's Introduction to Fall. So here's another 10. And here's a way you can also tell if you're precise. When you stand them up, they should be the same height. They might be a little bit different on the sides because it just depends on where your fold is gathered. But it's okay. You want your poofs the same height because you don't want it going up and down.
Shelly, that's Kat's standard 14-inch wreath frame she likes to use from Dollar Tree.
It's my go-to.
Yeah, it's pretty well-rounded. You can use pretty much anything with that.
Yeah, because it fits in between a 12 and then it's not quite as large as like a 16. So as you can see, we're poofing them forward. So measuring out 10 inches, making sure it's not all folded, and then you'll push your bubble forward. That's the main thing, is making sure that it's not all folded and it looks really pretty. Grab your pipe cleaner. He's everywhere today, huh?
Yes.
Did he go up?
Yes. Punk.
He'll come back down. He likes to sit on the very top of our cabinets. We don't have pot shelves, we have catwalks. So, and you just keep, I have like a funky weld section in here where it just doesn't want to go over the weld. Wow. There it is. It's just a rough spot in the weld. It's where the two are welded together, but I don't think they did a really good job in sectioning them because they should move fairly smooth.
Hi everybody, just jumping on.
So if you guys have any questions, feel free to start asking them. It's going to be the entire process all the way around, 5 per section. When we get to the 5th one, we will actually jump from one section to another to create the first one in that section. So just like so. And push. I just got to get it past that mark. It's great to hold it there. Bad for me to push it through. And I'm looking at this, the rest of the wreath frame. I don't think this one's, it's not a bad one, it's just that they have a lot of imperfections in it.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. That's the downside sometimes to the wire wreath forms.
Yeah, the Dollar Tree ones, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of times you don't get perfect. And we figured out too that if your wreath frame rails are separated, but it's separated on the inside or the outside, you can still use it for this wreath because all we need is the middle two. So we're not impacted by that inner or outer rail. And I'm just being perfect on my chenille stem twist. So,
Christina's got her baby on her lap. It just says the baby loves the colors. She's so intrigued.
I put this one in the wrong section.
Oh.
So, yeah, I know, I was counting. It's because of that one. I'm going to take it, move it past the weld mark. It's that one that wouldn't move. So when I went to pull my pipe cleaner through, it was over the line already. So this is now 5. So the next one I get ready to make is here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the next one's going to jump into our next section.
Yep, so they're 10-inch poofs, and there's 5 poofs in each section.
Mm-hmm. And that should get you to the end of a 21-inch Deco mesh roll perfectly. You shouldn't really have anything left.
As long as you don't measure over 10 inches.
Yeah, that's why it's critical. Like I said, whatever measurement point you want, whether you decide you want 9-inch, and there's nothing that says you have to go 10. You can go 9, you can go 8.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just have a little bit more left over at the end than I would. But you can pack them a little thicker if you wanted to. So I just like the thickness that this one gives. So any questions? How's the weather where you guys are at? We know Via's somewhere in Nevada making her way across the California border today. That's all I know. I saw her
Sandra
post.
said she did 9-inch poofs, was afraid she'd run out. That's okay.
Did it? You didn't though, right?
Not with 9-inch, I'm sure.
No, you shouldn't have.
Fallen cats.
I know, I hear him. Fluff him. He's being bad boy.
Aurelia said, your pipe cleaners, they look pretty nice. I found a new use for my empty jars. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Spaghetti jars. If you got the, like a lot of times when we pick spaghetti sauce, we look for the really nice jars that they come in so that I'll pull the labels off and then we can use them for floral display, holiday decor. So you just find another way to repurpose.
Yep. Judy and Debbie said hot where they're at. Judy's in Texas. Linda said beautiful weather here in Annapolis, Maryland.
I'm sure. What's the weather like there? What's the current
Well,
temperature?
Annapolis is right on the
Coast, right?
It's right on the coast.
Yeah. But even the East Coast was having a really challenging heat wave as well.
Sandra said no, I had extra left over.
You had extra?
Yeah. Well, if you think about that, it's 5 per section times 6. That's 30. So she probably almost had 2.5 feet left over.
Wow. And then I don't think you can do anything with the 2.5 feet. So you're like, what do I do with this? So did you just go down to 9 inches, Sandra? Because you were afraid that if you went 10, you wouldn't have enough?
That's what she said, yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense.
David
Be fearful.
David said it's hot in Las Vegas. Charlotte said it's still raining here and flash flood warning.
Debbie, do you live in Las Vegas? Because Las Vegas isn't that far from us. Would we say 3 hours?
Yeah.
2, the way
Debbie
Steve
Martin
drives.
said hot in Las Vegas, yeah.
Steve can make it 2.
2.5.
Yeah.
Mary Hartson said 100 degrees where we are in California.
Where are
Same
you
with
at,
us.
Mary?
Jan said, I love this method. The mesh stands in the center instead of having to add ribbon all over it.
Yeah, I do too.
Cheryl said in Michigan where she lives it's 84 and a nice breeze.
See, that's just nice. I was telling Steve today I don't think I could live anywhere where it would just be really horrible humidity, because I can't even stand it here when we get out of the shower and there's humidity in the house. I have to throw the air on so we can dry out the climate indoors to get rid of all that humid air.
Karen asked, are you tying the pipe cleaners to the middle ring? It's the middle 2
The
rings.
middle 2.
Yeah.
So 2 and 3. So exactly, and then that allows them to slide along them, and I think that was 5.
Diana Hernandez is 105 in Glendale, California.
Oh.
Another local.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some local people together, because I didn't realize we have an awful lot of local people.
Hi Jean, she said hi from Michigan. Alea Aloha said aloha, good afternoon guys.
I know, she's in our private group now. So you guys get the double header. You guys get fall/Halloween. I had to look up all my pictures on Lantern Swag because I kind of forgot how I did it.
Sandra said next time she'll do a 10-inch.
10?
Yeah.
I know, because when you start getting down to that last section and you're like, you see your roll hanging, you're like, I don't think I'm going to have enough. Yeah, you just...
I'll zoom in for a bit. Susan, she's tying the pipe cleaners to in between sections 2 and 3, the middle 2.
So right in, just like this. Literally right in between these 2. This is exactly what I'm doing.
Yep.
Well, okay, that was like a one-handed twist. Just like that. But not like that on what I'm tying. I'm actually making sure mine look a lot better than
Audrey
that.
said Tualatin is a mere 80 right now.
So she is up in Oregon.
Yeah.
It's where, I don't know, we've been toying with the idea of moving up to Oregon, huh, hon?
Yep.
We have been toying with that.
Faith said she had extra left over as well with a 14-inch frame, 10-inch poofs. Made 15 inches per section. 6 sections was 300 inches. So
Yeah,
I just made a few extra poofs in the last section.
that's what I've done too. Exactly. Sometimes you just look at it and go, you know what, it's looking a little thin. I'm just going to add an extra 1 there. So.
Mary said Central Valley near Modesto.
Oh.
So that's hot up there too.
Yeah, that's where our daughter lives, her
Our
oldest
daughter, yeah, she lives in Modesto.
Yep.
Janet said 86 here in Michigan.
Well, it is summer, right?
Yep.
I guess we can't ask for anything more. Although the rain we got yesterday, it was a nice little spurt of relief. And you know that you're desperate in California for rain. When you pull out of your garage, you look at the clouds and you go, wow, that looks like we could get some rain. Possibly. That looks promising.
Oh,
And then
Elaine,
Go ahead.
Elaine's a local too. She said 88 and a nice breeze in Fountain Valley and Huntington Beach.
I love Fountain Valley Huntington Beach.
And Aurelia said 92 in Downey.
See, we have some local people. We're going to have to plan a local event. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll have to think about that one. Maybe we can all get together.
Verlene asked, could you do a quick close-up to show how you're securing the poof to the frame with
Yeah.
the pipe cleaner?
So,
kinda hard.
are you zoomed
I'm
in?
zoomed in.
Okay. So, let me see. I'm just uncurling this. So, here's my 10-inch mark.
Hi, Carla.
Let me move this one.
Yeah, we did a quick extra live
Oh,
group
nice.
for the public.
So, right where I'm holding it with my thumb is where I need to secure it to the frame. So I'm just pushing this forward because it's your bubble. But before I even do that, I take my pipe cleaner and I put it between 2 and 3, just like so. So when I lay this in between 2 and 3, and I just pull my pipe cleaner up like this, and I just give it a couple twists, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I twist it. So that's what it looks like on that end. And then you take it and you just push it forward.
That one looks a little
It
big.
does look a little high. but it's because
You might be able to pull some fabric through it or pull it back there.
it's not that, it's the side.
Gotcha.
This side is poofy. It's how I pulled it through. Like these ones aren't, I didn't fluff them out, they're still underneath. So I'll just refluff. So
Yeah, she said 91 degrees and only 36 humidity in Missouri today. That's pretty humid.
that's a nice day, huh?
Connie said, love this method. I'm going to try it. Thank you for the video.
You've got to try it. Everyone who has tried the bubble say that they love it.
Robin asked, would bubble method work for regular deco mesh?
Yeah. I mean, that's technically what we're doing. This is regular deco mesh.
But you still want something that's got like a lot of foil in it, or at least
A pattern.
a
to it.
pattern or 2 or 3 different colors.
Yeah, or something with a lot of metallic. Because it would look really blah, I think, if you just put like a solid color. But what I've been trying to do is just ones that have bands of different colors. What else did we do that was a bubble?
We did the Halloween one. We did a bunch of Halloweens and
We
a couple
did.
falls.
Yeah, we've done a couple fall, a couple Halloween, but they were like the black with the purple, and it was purple green through here.
You did the fall with the orange and brown, and then the orange and green.
Yeah, I think that was fun.
Oh, Darlene Brooks Parker, which is Darlene. She said, meet at Cracker Barrel for all the California locals. That would be a good idea.
I know, but you know what's funny is all the people who are up in Northern California, that's a drive for them. But Cracker Barrel is opening up in Sacramento. I think they're training right now for their stores, what we've heard. Because Kaylee was telling us they asked her to go up to Sacramento and train, potentially relocate, and she said no. Because her fiance starts his new job not this week, but next week.
Yep.
And he's
Jeanette
gonna-
said we have 78 and no humidity in Massachusetts. Perfect weather. That is good
That
weather.
is.
Hi Adele. She said 97 in Denver, Colorado. That's pretty hot for Denver.
It is.
Leah Lois said love the bubble.
The bubble is super pretty.
Tamela, this mesh is from Joann's, 21 inch.
This is their
Just came out for their fall.
I fell in love with it. Right when I saw it, I was like, oh, that would make a really pretty bubble.
Yep. Sydney and Antoinette both said I love that mesh. From Joann's.
I know, it was $14.99, so it's a little on the pricey side, but if you use like a coupon from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something and get, 50% off or 40% off, it makes the difference.
So while she's working, Kay and Karen, this is a 21 inch deco mesh from Joann's. It's a 10 inch poof, and there's 5 poofs per section. This is a 14 inch wreath frame from Dollar Tree, and it has 6 sections. So if you have 5 sections in each, or 5 poofs in each section, it's a total of 30 poofs total. And one 21 inch deco mesh roll is all you need.
Yep. And so that's why it's okay to spend a little bit more. If you're just going to do one roll of deco mesh, and that's pretty much going to be the major component, you don't need to come back in with other colors and lay other colors down. As long as you pick a really vibrant one. So pick a good quality deco mesh it's like your base / top. Because that's all you're going to do. And I'm going to look at trying a different option on this one. I don't know if it'll work, but we can try it since we bubbled it anyway and see if that will be an option. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing it and pulling it and making sure it always wants to fold. So I'm always making sure it's like doing poofs and making sure your poofs are out and not folded all the way through.
Charlene, no, you only use one roll of 21 inch deco mesh. That's it.
That is all.
That's it. So this is a very good cost effective wreath.
Cost effective depends on how much your 21 inch deco mesh is.
Well, I mean, if you can get it for 50% off, you can get it for typically $7 or $8.
You can. Or, like I said, if you're going to spend $15 on your deco mesh, I mean, you're going to spend that much if you did a base and two top rolls of deco mesh on a different wreath. Like a poof with a ruffle. You're going to crack into your base.
Karen, the mat is actually a quilter's mat you can get from Walmart, Joann's, Michael's for about 30 bucks, I think.
Yeah.
And it's double-sided, so it's light on this side and darker on the other.
It's weird. The pipe cleaner on that one only went through one wire, and it was just like sliding too easy. I was like, hey, what's wrong? You can kind of tell when you don't get it right because you can't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
And that mat is a 24 by 36 inch.
Yeah, it's the largest one that you can get, I think, at Walmart.
Yeah, it's perfect for this, for craft making and cutting off of.
Containing glitter.
Yeah.
That's what we've noticed, because when we were pulling out all the Halloween stuff, like trying to match colors, and of course everything for Halloween is glitter.
Yeah.
It was just, the whole countertop was covered, and I was telling Steve, we need to pull the mat out, because containing it to that and then just sweeping it off is better than trying to get glitter out of the grout in your tiles.
Yeah. Jeanette, you can use a less expensive mesh with this method, but for the bubble method, the Deco mesh is what really is the kind of showstopper. So you really want to have a nice premium Deco mesh if you can. Something that's got a lot of foil or a lot of different colors in it.
Mm-hmm. Just something with a pattern. Even if you picked a plaid, you know, like a red and white, or like the basket weave that we did on the ghost.
Yeah.
That would look great. Because like Steve says, this is really all you're going to do with a sign or a bow. You could put in some embellishments. You could put in some florals if you wanted at the top with the bow.
Karen, there's not necessarily a name for the mat. Just it's in the floral section with the foam.
This is called Fiskars.
Fiskars. Okay, so it's just like scissors.
It's a self-healing mat, so if you just go to Walmart or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, just go into the sewing section where the scissors and the rotary cutters are. It's just a self-healing cutting mat.
Yeah.
Right?
And they do have different sizes, but this is the largest.
Right. So,
Berlin, there are dozens of different ways to do a mesh wreath.
Yeah.
Dozens.
So we're trying to discover them all, right? Yeah. We've got the poof down, got the ruffle down, we did the Christmas tree.
Curl, ruffle.
Curls, ruffles, bubbles. We did the flower.
Yeah.
The sunflower. This would be a gorgeous sunflower wreath. Imagine if you did, okay, so already like throwing my creative ideas out. Like gonna probably have to go back and do this in a sunflower wreath with these colors as the Deco mesh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Kind of petals, like accent petals.
Kristen said, glitter, ugh, it's everywhere.
It is, and just wait.
Wait till Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. Just the Halloween lantern swag that we're doing is just glitter city. So.
Well, there's 5 bubbles per poof to each section.
Mm-hmm.
And they're measured at 10 inches.
Yeah. They don't have to be measured at 10 inches. 10 inches will just use up a 21-inch roll of Deco mesh almost perfectly.
Yep.
So has anyone seen any good summer movies? Steve and I went to the movies last night. Was really disappointed with Jurassic World. The Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, just okay.
I would have liked to have seen it fall.
Yes, Karen, the mat is self-healing mat.
Just don't keep cutting in the same section repeatedly.
Yeah.
So like, even though if you're going to cut 10-inch, occasionally move your mat to where, you know, you're not measuring it right at the edge. Just pull it forward and then measure out another 10 inches. It just helps the mat last a little longer.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it away from heat and from water. The mats do not do well with heat or water.
They do not do well with water. How long had we had ours? We've had ours. We had
years.
Yeah, like 15 years maybe. Ours lasted until something happened in our home where water was introduced to said cutting mat, and nobody in our house claims that they know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve and I would be the first ones to go, oh man, I messed up. I ruined my cutting mat. My fault.
Yep.
We know it was somebody in this house that isn't over, that is not, well, she's a legal adult. Somebody did it.
Yeah, but we both know that you and I didn't.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
That's all we know, is it was not us, and there's only one other person who lives in this house, but swears, wasn't me. Was not me. It's like, okay, well, there's only us two. It wasn't me. It's that person who lives in our house called wasn't me. I don't know.
Well, Shelly's asking an interesting question.
Sure.
How do you handle balance in your life with Facebook, making wreaths, private groups, shopping, working, day job? Well, this is her day job.
Well,
and making time for the Lord. I feel this has been a challenge for me. What advice can you give?
great question, because I'm the first to tell Steve, because I was always on Steve about priorities and setting boundaries. Even Joyce Meyer said that a long time ago, that you have to set boundaries. You have to determine a starting and end point for everything that you do in the course of your day. Otherwise, you're just shifting your boundary line from, say, family time to give yourself more work time, or taking away from work time and doing it to family. For me, I just allocate out specific amounts of time. Like I have a to-do list every day of what I need to accomplish, and it isn't overwhelming. I try not to make too many wreaths anymore, because number one, space is a premium in our house, and I don't need to do it right now. Doing, what is it? We do a business live, and then two tutorials. So it's about 2 or 3 wreaths a week.
At least.
Yeah, unless you get a custom order, and then you got to take care of your custom orders. You got to do shipping and receiving. It's just planning, I think, is the best thing. So I always start my day with God and tell him I kind of need his help for time management purposes, to allow me to get done all the things that he wants me to accomplish in the course of a day. Do I accomplish it all? No. There's days I'll run short. There's days that things pop up, like, you know, Steve's dad, you know, in the hospital, or his parents are in the hospital. My dad needs something. Kaylee needs something. Kaylee breaks her phone. So I think it's just always being prepared for your schedule to change, and be willing to go with that. As a small business owner, you're going to have to initially put some time into it, because it's not going to get there on its own. So just allocating out time, you know, whether you're sitting in bed at the end of the night, you know, doing downtime and looking at your schedule for the next day, prepping stuff for the next day. What do I need to accomplish the next day?
Yeah.
And realizing it doesn't all have to get done that day. Like for me, changing out all my listings because my listings weren't SEO compatible to give me a higher grade to be seen. You know, I could look at that and go, wow, I have to go in and change 50 some listings. Or I could look at it and go, Etsy wants to see consistency. So if I just set that up to do maybe 2 a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, post on my Facebook 4 times a day, post on my Instagram, do my 4 pins on Pinterest, there's plenty of time left in the course of the day, you know?
Yep.
So I'm running it down.
A lot of people are saying it was the cat's fault for getting the mats wet.
There's nothing on the counter, though, that they can knock over. It'd be different if their water bottle was there, or there was a liquid substance.
Kelly, she's pretty much finishing up right now, but what she can do is she can turn it,
See, I'm
inside
at 2.
out.
I'm at 3.
If you
So I have
wanna-
4, 5.
If you want to hold that up, and that'll kind of show everybody
What?
how many ties are in each section and how you did
There's
it in rails
5.
2 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 5 in each section. You can kind of see they're not all perfectly spaced. You can move them if you wanted, but it doesn't look like you need to.
Right.
But they slide. So there's 5 in each. Here's where I'm coming back to meet my end. So I've already got 3. And I have enough to get another 2 out of all this. So I don't worry.
Verlene, that's funny.
What?
She says, is there a book, Mesh for Dummies, that demonstrates the different methods? Thank you. I
There
wish.
isn't.
That would be cool to make one.
No, because I don't really think that there's like, I don't think that people are dummies, so to speak. It's just like, hey, it's just a new technique, right? It's just like learning a different social media marketing idea. So it's not that we're dummies. It's just like, oh, hey, there's a new one. You know, there's Pinterest, there's Instagram, there's this, there's that.
Yep.
So when you get into your last 1 or 2, it is a challenge because you're pushing the other ones out of the way and getting in your very, very last ones. So just like so. Trying to keep everything out of the way. So
Hi, Helena. Shelly said, thank you, great advice. Helena just came in. Yeah, that's 21-inch Deco mesh from Joann's. It's a bubble.
Yep, and see, this will be the last of my Deco mesh that's right here in the rest of my hand.
Yeah.
So that's it. So again, pooping my last bubble. Squeezing it in.
Angela said the mesh is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Julie said so sparkly.
It's very
Hi,
sparkly.
Nancy. She said, hey, from Yarmouth down in Cape Cod for the week.
Oh,
Glad
very
I found
cool.
this. Yes, this is a bubble.
Bubble, bubble.
Bubble wreath, Nancy.
I know. And it's funny because it's like, it's technically a stacked poof method is really what it is on the same rail.
That's interesting. Faith said Hobby Lobby has some books on Deco mesh wreaths
Really?
by Leisure Arts. Yeah.
I'll have to check Amazon.
Thank you, Faith, for that.
So now I'm taking that leftover piece. So there's my 5. So I'm good. This is exactly what I have left. So, I mean, I pretty much gauged it right to the money. Thank God we didn't open it and find out that it still had some remnant, because we've had that happen before, right? Oh, I was looking for my pipe, my zip tie. Okay.
Don't see it?
I will just pull another one out of the bag. So
I've got it.
again, we have to confine the mess. So I'm just gonna go around one of either 2 or 3, just like in the beginning. And I try to go the opposite so that they it looks like I match them. So I will zip tie this on.
I've got it zoomed in as quick as I can so they can kind of see how you're tying it.
Yeah, just like that. I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
So it's just attached to one rail. So I'll take this mess and cut it all down. Just like that. So there's just like a little fuzzy tail. And then, now I find the zip tie. Snip it all off.
Always figure something.
Always something, right? So as you guys can see, there's my start and end. So they started and ended perfectly.
Yep.
So, and there's tons of space in the middle for those. Just like so. So that's basically the look that you achieve with the bubble wreath all the way around. It keeps things very thick, very dense. So it looks nice. I mean, if you look, you can't see your wreath frame through this. And this was a fairly thin Deco mesh. You know, it's just that poly jute with just the metallic foils through it.
But it's thick. I
But
can't
it's
see
thick.
them. Yeah.
Because you're stacking your bubbles through it.
Right.
So it looks really super nice. So, what I will do is attach my sign. So I haven't yet decided what I want to do with the sign.
Okay, great instruction. Or Faith.
What?
Well, Kay had asked, wish we could see you tying the bubble, and then Faith said, Kay, you just insert the pipe cleaner under rails 2 and 3, and you lay the mesh in between the ends of the two ends of the pipe cleaners and twist together a couple times.
Yep, that's all we're doing every single time. So if you're used to doing the poof method, I'm trying to think of when we're doing the poof, the pipe cleaners are already attached to the rails when we're doing the poofs. So it's exactly like doing the poof where our pipe cleaners are already open and ready. So instead of us taking the material, in a sense it's the same way. We're just adding the pipe cleaners as we go and moving them up the rail, so we're not over tightening it to where it doesn't move, just loosely enough that you can scoot them and kind of scrunch them all together. And you're just adding the pipe cleaners as you go.
Yep. And
So,
yes, it's from Joann's. The Deco mesh is from Joann's.
Joann's, right? The sign, Jane's Front Door Decor. So we attached our business card to the back so that the customer knows if they want to do a reorder for Christmas or a reorder for this one. Even though we insert business cards in the box, we all know that customers are going to misplace their business card. So it's nice to know that they're always included, and it helps me when they go, oh, I wish I had your contact information, you know, I wanted to order another wreath, and I just tell them it's on the back. If you flip over your existing wreath on the back of your sign, the business card's always readily available.
And you can't readily see it from the back. You really have to kind of push through the mesh in order to see it. So
there's some people who say, why do you stick that on the back? You know, people could see that if they're coming to the back of the door, but it's like, I've never placed my wreath on a glass door to where I'm looking at the back, and I guess that would probably be, I don't know, it wouldn't be something desirable to look at the back of a wreath anyway. It doesn't matter what you do to it. So it's just nice to know that you have that extra measure for the customer. So I'm gonna pop. When I order my signs from Jane, she gives you the option to already put them with holes in them. I think, and Jane can correct me, you can get them top and bottom. So when you order her signs, it's option no holes, top and bottom. There's one I think that's side to side, and there's one in each corner. So for me, I always ask them to be no holes because I have the metal hole punch that I can put my holes wherever I want. If I wanted to do side to side, if I wanted all four corners, I could do that as an option. So here I think I'm gonna do top and bottom so that I can actually secure it in there pretty good. But you don't wanna overly tighten it. Like in our poofs or our ruffles, we really want the sign to nestle down. On a bubble wreath, you don't want that look. You kind of want it just to be free floating. And I'm actually gonna push it down closer to the bottom so that when I get my bow will be up here kind of cascading out, and the sign will be a little lower. So Beadsmith through Amazon has 1.5, right? Is it 1.5?
Yeah, 1.5 millimeter.
1.5 millimeter hole punch. So it operates exactly like a hole punch does, that you do on your paper. So I just give it an extra couple twists to make sure that my hole is pretty well rounded. So again,
it's called a Beadsmith hole punch.
Yeah,
it's
just
on,
like this.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, and it's on Kat's affiliate link. The wreath making.
Yeah, it's under the wreath making supply. There's a list on the Kat's Creation page that says like wreath making toolkit. These are listed there, so you can find them pretty easy. So those are all done. We will thread our pipe cleaner through the hole.
Hi everyone, just jumping on. Obviously you're jumping on a little bit late, so you can always go back and watch the replay.
If they know how to comprise a bubble wreath, then you're right in where you need to be. So
Sharon Buskirk said, I'm new to this. How do you get all your posts? So,
posts.
Like, you need to like her Kat's Creation page and
like and follow.
Follow. And if you share the video, it automatically shares it to your page.
And then you don't have to go search for it on my page, which has a tendency of getting a little cluttered because I allow everyone within the group to post their ideas, post stuff that they're working on, because I like to see what you guys are making.
Yep.
So I'm going to take this, and that's the nice thing about the bubble method is it's like loaves of bread, so you're just spreading your sandwich slices apart and I'm just gonna feed my sign through the bottom, and I'll show you what it looks like on the other side.
Hi Gail, she said she's doing late.
Gail.
Yeah, Kay said the same thing, that Damon says he doesn't like tags or cards should be on the sign. But if you can't necessarily see the sign from the back, it's okay to put a business card on the back of it.
You're gonna see this anyway.
Yeah.
Is this any more desirable than the back of your business card stuck on the back of a sign?
That's just other people's preferences.
But I'm looking at this and I'm like, I wouldn't want to see this over a business card on the back. I mean, this in itself on the back of a glass door would just be, I don't think I'd want to see that either.
Right, and if you have a glass door, you could always like put a placemat behind it, or you could cut some felt out and put the felt in the round circle to cover all that up.
It's just nice knowing that it's there. I've had so many times where I didn't have business cards handy, and but I did have my wreaths with me, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I have it on the back of the sign. And so I'd flip it over and I said, here's all my business information, which has worked out really beneficial. So again, we don't want to overly tighten it. So there's where it's sitting on our wreath. It's just slightly indented, but not a whole lot. So I've just attached it here and here just barely.
You want it a little bit lower, right?
Yeah, I wanted it lower because the bow will go up here. So we are going to be adding this burgundy along with this, and I think I brought out a whole bunch of different colors just to kind of play with the color palette. So I'm just breaking them up, looking at what color choices I have. So I'm just going to keep grabbing them. I think I want the pumpkin, and I might go something along those lines. Why do they all have to be 2.5 inch?
Sandra, yeah, that's just one roll of 21 inch deco mesh from Joann's.
What do you guys think? These 3 or those 4? Or do you guys think we should go like that and do 5? What do you think?
What do you guys think?
These are the
4
color
or
choices
5?
I have to go with. Because I always drag out 4 or 5 different colors and see what I think. So
Debbie said the 4.
the 4 like those, or the 5. I'm just trying to think if we go pumpkin leaf, pumpkin stripe, it feels off to me.
I think the 1.5 inch pumpkin on the right is a little bit off for whatever reason.
This one?
Yeah.
So you're liking that?
Yeah, I'm kind of liking that one better.
What do you guys think?
Charlotte said I like all of them. Jane said 4. Helena said 5.
Okay.
Debbie said I prefer 2.5 inch on bottom. So do you.
Yeah. So do I. But then it's funky because then you have this one on the top.
It's mixed.
I know. And if you guys have noticed, the 1.5 inch ribbon has been really super hard to find anywhere. So I'm going to do this with my bow dabber today, and I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a funky bow. So, which means that it's going to kind of be like our lantern swag, and then it doesn't have perfect tails. I'm looking at something else too. Let me look at something really quick. So I told you that we could technically look at doing something a little different with this. This was another technique that I was thinking, because we always go with the embellishment little glitter balls on the ends. And I said that I think there's another way you can get by. And I think I've seen this done before, where you can kind of go like this. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, kind of like a crisscross pattern when we do the Christmas.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I'm just counting. I've seen this before and I was like, I bet that would work on a bubble wreath. So let me do, I'm just playing with the ribbon, tucking it in. See if I like that look. And if we like it, maybe this becomes that, and then we do the others for the bow. So I'm just counting every third
Yeah, that's pretty.
bread
like that.
slice.
Yes. Debbie said yes. She said she's done that. It's kind of, it's a woven
Yeah.
Just weave it in, right?
Exactly.
And that's
'Cause
what
this
you
is
can
only
use the twist ties for.
Huh?
That's what you can use the existing twist ties
And
for.
that's technically what you can use existing. And then we don't have to worry really about being up here because it's going to technically be inside. But, and I know it's not perfect because I was just laying it in here initially. 1, 2, 3. So these would tuck a little bit better.
Like every 2?
No, I like the every 3rd, I think is how I did it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And then, what do you guys think? That's another option we have. So I saw it and I was thinking, I bet that would work in a bubble for people who are like, can't we incorporate some ribbon in it? Yes, you can. Now, if you took it down and went 1.5 inch, it wouldn't be quite as wide, but I'm thinking I'm liking this.
Yeah, I like that too. A lot of people say they like it.
Oh, well, then we're gonna leave it.
Okay.
So now we know, because look, that's really all we have. Because the rolls at Joann's were only 12 feet, so it's not an awful lot.
Yeah, and you can, I guess then you can use the other pumpkin to add in.
Yep, but like Steve says, okay, so we have our pipe cleaners, right, that are already in there. Guess what? They are now going to act as anchors for our ribbon. So all I'm doing is now taking my pipe cleaners, making sure that they're lined up, and they are going to hold my ribbon. So again, don't want to pull too hard, but I am going to readjust the ones at the bottom. So I'm going to take these ones. I just had one way underneath the wreath.
Everybody says that looks great. Like it a lot. Yes.
Okay.
So there you go.
We're leaving it. So again, you don't want to smush your ribbon. So you want to leave it loopy. And we've done this at Christmas time on an evergreen to kind of pull ribbon around an evergreen. We've even done it in a zigzag, like a cross pattern.
Yeah, like a cross weave.
Yeah, and it looks really super pretty. Especially when you want to do something different than ribbon ties. So I'm just borrowing from where I need it to be so that I don't have to twist it too tight. But see where pipe cleaners can be your asset.
Yep. Case did the same thing. Yes, all 1.5 ribbon right now is really difficult to find.
Yes, see? It's not just me. I can't find it anywhere. And even when I went on Craft Outlet last night, because I had to order more angel wings, all the 5.5 inch ribbon is sold out. All of it. So because I know I have this much play in the ribbon, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to pull where I need to make sure that my bubbles aren't compromised and smashed.
Yep, a lot of people saying love it. It brings out all the colors of the mesh even more.
Yeah, it does.
Debbie says she's done that before and she doesn't always do it the same number of bubbles or straight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So I'm just taking it, tucking it. The goal is to find the pipe cleaners, because the pipe cleaners kind of
Yeah.
tuck in there.
They
I
do
mean,
blend with the beige.
huh?
They do blend with the beige.
They do, well, and one's up and the other one's like way down in the center. So you have to go and find it and pull it up.
I think 1.5 ribbon this year is going to be difficult to find.
It's going to be the bane of our existence. That's going to be my new word for wreath making 2018. The bane of our existence.
So Diana brought a good segue. Are you going to teach the angel technique?
Yes. It's only going to be in the private group though.
Right. So now
But
you
yes,
can tell
in
everybody
August.
what you get kind of in the private group and
Well, I have a lot of my private group members in here. Why don't you guys share what benefits you like the best about being in the private group? Because I know I'm constantly looking for other ways to make it better, but what do you guys like best? Because there's, so there are some people who like the tutorials. There are some people who like the materials list. There are some people who like the business classes. Yeah, there are some people who like the discounts. So people are all in it for a different reason, and everyone's in it at a different place, I guess, in their wreath making career.
Yep.
So we'll see what they say. Come on, Gail. Like, come on, Gail.
Okay, I think she's going, with that weave, she's going over 3 bubbles.
Yeah, I'm counting 3.
Every
3
3.
slices of red, tuck in it. 3 slices of red. That's what I always say. They remind me of slices of bread in a loaf. So, and then I'm just pulling the leftover. So 1, 2, 3, and I'll tuck this one in.
Hi Donna. Pat says the tutorials are her favorite.
Okay. See, everyone's got something different.
Variety. Yep.
So, I mean, it's $17 a month now because we've doubled everything.
Yep.
We've doubled all the tutorials from what we were offering, which was just one business and then one wreath making tutorial. But now we're bumping up the tutorials, so it's not just wreaths, it's the specialties, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The specialty items like the angel,
Lantern swag.
the lantern swag. I'm actually going to just tuck this one with the other one.
Some new techniques that you're going to be showing everybody.
Like the bubble. The bubble was all new. Horse head. What's the other new one?
A lot of
We did the
people
Christmas tree.
Sandra said, I love how everyone is so supportive and helpful with each other.
That's the best part.
Even
for
if
me.
people are short on material, other people will try to find material for them and ship it to them. That's awesome.
In the middle.
Diana said the great tutorials and great group of ladies sharing all their ideas. The extra support you get from Kat.
Yeah, because my day doesn't start. My day doesn't stop at the end. I mean, I'll be talking to Gail in Florida at like midnight my time, which is 3 o'clock her time,
Yeah.
which is just crazy.
Sharon, so that's what she's kind of talking about. This is the public group, and then she has a private group that she does private tutorials, and it's a different angle of the camera. It's kind of behind your shoulder.
It's over here.
So it gets a really good view of how she's making the wreaths. Cheryl said, I would never have opened a Facebook business page or an Etsy store without the business tutorials.
Awesome.
Yeah, Nancy said, I love the position of the camera. You really see how Kat does it, how does her art.
Because it's like you're standing right here. It's my bed.
Yeah. Anita says, Kat is so patient explaining steps that turn into beautiful wreaths.
Like this.
Mine aren't beautiful, yes, but you're working on them, Anita.
Everybody's is amazing.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like the community that we have the best. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
said, there's been so many people that have been struggling on finding things. Like, what did I need help with? I wanted specific deco mesh that only a specific store carried on the East Coast, and I was willing to pay non-sale price. I was like, I really just want that. I want to do a candy corn ribbon. I really need that. And Gail came to my rescue. She's like, how many of everything do you want? When do you want it shipped? I'm like, just let me know what the total is and I'll be willing to pay for it. So, and I mean, having a network of 200, I think there's 235 people in the group. 235 people all over the US that can help you find something that you're looking for is pretty amazing.
And there's other members who live in the same state, and they're even trying to get together if they can.
Yeah, they're making their own like little mini communities, which
Right.
is amazing.
Which is awesome. Patricia said the same thing. She likes the other members. Faith just said, I just joined last month, but so far I must say I enjoyed the support group and the networking among the other members who create wreaths like me. The sharing has been wonderful and everyone is so encouraging.
I'm actually going to cut my little tip off.
Charlotte said, I have access to Kat's knowledge all the time and all the groups are always helpful.
They do. Because like I said, I try to, if you message me, I try to message you back as soon as I can. Because I keep my phone on all the time. As a mom, you guys know it. And, you know, if we're out somewhere and someone has a quick question, they're like, hey, can you just look at this picture and tell me this ribbon or this ribbon? You know, I'll take the time to just stop. I try to be really responsive, but a lot of times the group members beat me to it.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll answer your question if they know the
And
answer.
I'll just go, yeah, what they said. Because that's exactly what I would have said. I'm like, they're getting it.
Darlene said the Wreath Shop had a box of 12 1.5-inch fall ribbon available this morning. I wonder if they had different colors.
I wonder if that's the one that I posted. Because I was like, one of them had it and I posted it on the main page and I said, hey, if you guys can afford this. And I want to say it was like $39. $39? I'm guessing. I'm like, you guys might want to pick that up. So I'm going to do a total of
Yep.
2 loops in each.
Willie says she's been a member of the private group for less than a month and have learned so much, especially about Etsy. That's good. Cheryl said, yep, no drama.
No drama.
Audrey said the tutorials, directions, along with all the feedback from the group.
Yeah, because you guys get tutorials. The private group gets the materials list for everything, except the stuff that I create on my own. But they ask me anyway, and they'll be like, where'd you get the sign? Like we were asking. Like, what do you think is the most frequently asked question in the group? And you guys came up with some really great questions. Where'd you get the sign? How long did you cut the ribbon? It actually is, where do I find the videos? Is the question I get asked the most. Because...
Daily almost.
Yeah, almost daily. Because everything's different. Mobile browsers are different than... I'm looking.
Yep. Gail said, what I like about the private group is the material list, tutorials, fellowship, lives while shopping, and everyone is always willing to help.
No.
So Sharon said, how do you get private group? I'm interested.
When we finish the video, because this video is now sitting at the very top because it's what we're currently doing. When it's finished, there's a video posted that says how to join Kat's private group. So you just follow that link, and it's $17 a month, and you get, you can do it credit, debit, or PayPal. And then whatever day you sign up is the date that becomes your recurring payment. So it just comes out every, like if you signed up today, what is today, the 8th? Is today the 8th or 9th?
Today is the 8th.
The 8th. Okay, so it would come out the 8th of every month until you decide to stop it. So you decide to stop it, not me. Unless you severely violate something that I ask people not to do, which is you can't share the private group's video to your Facebook page. You can watch them.
Right.
Yeah, you can watch them as many times as you want within the private group because they are private group videos. The minute you take them outside the private group, they're no longer private videos.
Right.
So
you can copy the lists.
You can copy the lists. You can take pictures of all my designs because I only create them once. I share with you guys everything under the sun. I don't hold anything back, I don't think. There's nothing that I've held back and said I'm not sharing that. The angel video is different, but it's only because I'm going to share it with you guys in August. Because we're doing...
In the private group.
Yeah, in the private group. So we're going to be doing the Nightmare Horse. The Nightmare Horse head, which is going to be all black with flaming red, yellow. I'm going to look for a really cool ombre ribbon and do it that way. And I haven't even been telling people what I'm doing. I apologize. Steve's just got me talking.
Sorry.
So, I'm just making 2 loops on every side with the Bodabra. Let me show you guys as I do the last one. It's the same step I've been doing repeatedly. I know, I'm looking. I'm thinking this one over the pumpkin because I already have pumpkin, so we'll go back to leaves. Okay, so Bodabra. It's what I learned on because it's only $15, $15.99. If you get it at Hobby Lobby, you can use your 40% off coupon, which really brings the price down to something affordable. When I started in September of last year, making wreaths as a profession, as a business, I didn't have an awful lot of funds because as a new wreath maker, you don't know if your wreaths are going to sell. So that's always our intimidating part. So I started with what was affordable. I couldn't afford the Provo at the time because that was like 40 bucks. So I started small. And so this has become my go-to. It's also where I can do all my funky bows, weird bows, and other stuff. But you always lay them in where your ribbon is right side up. So I'm showing you on the last one that I'm doing here. There's a wrong, there's the right. there's the wrong side of our fabric. So we always dovetail cut our ends, which is taking the wired side, we fold it in half, and we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut from the folded side to the very point of that wired ribbon to the end. So this will give your ribbons a really super nice finish. And then you lay them in there, and before you lay it, you kind of twist it so that this will lay flat, and then you've got your wrong side fabric facing up, but when you bring it up to make your loop, you have a perfect loop with your right side fabric on the outside. So again, twist, push it back in, and I always take them a little bit shorter as I go up to the top. So what I'm looking at when I'm looking at my bow right now is the very top. And do the same thing. I just take it, twist it, push it back down. We'll look at where it comes. If I need to make an adjustment, I can make an adjustment. We're going to do it 2 more times. So twist, push it down, even it out with the one I have on this side. Same side here. Take, twist, make sure my ribbons are the same, and then here's my tail. So I'll just bring it out, cut it off, and do that dovetail again, folding it from the folded side to our point, and then that makes our really pretty bow. And then I grab a pipe cleaner. We try to go with a color that's as close to our bow as possible. So we fold it, not fold it, but just make a little U shape. And then you have this part that comes with your bow dabra. So you take it, you put it in between the little springs and push down, not overly hard because it's plastic, it will break. And then you're going to take the whole thing like this, and you're just going to, I shake it out. So there's the pinch that most people see, like if you're doing the pro bow, this is all the inside that would be pinched with your wire. You just drop your pipe cleaner in the middle, and take it, give it a couple twists at the very bottom, and then take this part and twist it around. So it looks very similar to the pro bow on the sides, but I have my tails a little bit longer. If you wanted to make it look exactly like the pro bow, it would just come out this way. I don't do the fluff box on my wreaths because I just start and actually incorporate this right into where I want it to go on my wreath. And I'm not going to overly pull it tight because I don't want to, if you pull it too tight, let me find my other side, if I pulled it too tight it would look like that, which is not where I want it to be. So I will just twist this a couple times and then start fluffing your ribbon like you do on all the other ones. So you're going to take your sides and pull your ribbon sideways.
Sorry about that, that's weird.
What's wrong?
Camera glitched for a second, it like moved it to just the welcome.
Really?
Yeah, and then it might have been me, I might have touched it by accident.
You touched it.
Probably. At least I admit it.
I know. That is so true. So I'm going to take this one and move this one to the other side because I have my 2 tails here. Move my bows around. Start fluffing like crazy. Pull these guys around.
Yeah, so Sharon, after this video you can go to the top of this Kats Creations page, and like she said, there's a video on how to join the private group.
It's really simple. It's just 2 steps. Basically it's request to become a member, then go to the link that's set up to do the reoccurring payment, pay the fee, and then once I get a notice from PayPal that there's been a payment posted, I just go and click approve. So it's actually really simple. But you have to give me a little bit because I'll be doing the other video here momentarily. But the great thing is you get access to my entire library of private tutorials. that I've done since the very beginning of February.
Yeah.
So that's in itself is pretty amazing.
Yep. You get access to all the past month's videos
Exactly.
and lists of all the wreaths you've done.
Exactly.
You know what's funny is you could do florals.
I know. I was going to.
In between the bubbles.
You could.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was going to think about adding some florals to the top by the bow. So that way it's not... I'm still going to add my little... whatchamacallit?
Pumpkins.
The little glitter ball things.
Yeah.
To the sides. And if these are a little too crazy for you, this is where if it's a little too much, just make some cuts and take them down. It's better to have them a little longer and make the adjustments than, let me look at that from my point of view. That's what's kind of nice too in the private group. I don't have to like, I look at it the way I would build it, my way. So.
Darlene, no, the bow's not placed on, secured on number 2 and 3 rails. It's wherever she can find it once she pokes her pipe cleaners through. So it could be on...
It technically is between 2 and 3.
Is it between 2 and 3?
Yeah.
But it could be on 2 or 3.
It could be. So that's what it looks like so far. I'm just watching my time to make sure my time isn't going crazy. So that's where that is. This, I think I'm going to take it all the way down.
Is that where it stopped?
Yeah, I just thought, well, if I put my bow there, maybe I could take it and tuck it in.
Kathy said, ooh, it must be the ghost in the house. That did the glitch when it moved
Right?
to the camera. Cheryl said, LOL, Kathy.
I know. Okay.
That's a good idea. Faith said she added Cats Live videos, public and private, as events on her Google Calendar.
Aww.
So she sees them, and that's what Cheryl did too.
Some people do that. They set up their calendar because I say the time always stays consistent. It's just the days change for a lot. So I am going to come in and I'm going to add a little bit of glitter balls to this. This is normally where I take my, what do you call them?
Scatters and fillers.
Yeah, whatever. They're glitter balls.
Wreath fillers.
I don't really care what you call them. They're glitter balls, babe. So I just stick them on the pipe cleaner just to add, and they're different sizes, so they don't roll all over the table. But one of the things that I thought we could do as well, not so much that I would add something to the center of this, and I'll show you. What? What are you snickering for?
Just some people say probably the same person that ruined the mat.
Probably.
Yeah. Marianne said that looks wonderful how the bow really finishes it off. And Jeannie said love this wreath.
Fall is my favorite season, I think, just because I love all the colors. It's just a reminder that even though that things look dismal, there's still beauty to be found in it, and that renewal is coming. Like, it never stays that way.
I love fall because the temperature is changing.
Yeah, but we don't see that until like early part of November.
It's still fall.
I know. So I'm going to close my gaps a little bit. Add some more glitter balls to these. You could come back in and add flowers if you wanted. I'm just sitting here adding these to the ones that are in between my, where I have the balls facing.
So a lot of people do the bubble technique and they put the twist ties of the pipe cleaners and tie it from the back.
Yeah,
Kathy,
it's a little hard to do it that way.
Kathy actually does it from the front because she can, number one, she can land the ribbon like you just saw.
Yeah.
But then she can also use the twist ties for these extra little fillers and glitter balls and other decorations.
And they're everywhere. I mean, you can take the ones now that are in the middle of those, like Steve says, that are in the middle, like in here. You can pull those out.
Plus you could use them for florals, for tying in florals.
Exactly.
And all sorts
There's a
of
reason. Even though it doesn't look like it initially. We'll put an orange one. So this is where you can take your ones that are kind of tucked in where the ribbons are and add some additional color in here to continue to pop all the all those colors. So here's like orange. Here's another one over here. We'll do brown. This is a small brown. And because they're on pipe cleaners, you can move them anywhere you want.
And you just push them right onto the end of the pipe cleaner. It's styrofoam, so it just pushes right in.
And you just come back and glue them all, which is what we do when we're off camera, is we just stuff them back in there. So this is what it looks like so far. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's really pretty, sweetie.
Yeah. And then one of the other things that I thought we could tentatively do, and I'm looking, because Steve brought this here for my lovely demo, but you could, until I tell which ones we picked through last year, a lot, you could come back in, move this up a little bit, kind of twist these around. Obviously it would not be that long. But you could come back in under your bow. You can add some fall leaves. So you can kind of take it up a little notch. So these will get glued in wherever you're content with them being. Now these, I mean, there's so much that you can do. Where is the rest? They're too big. Look, I brought them over here. Hi.
Are you missing a pic? What are you looking for, babe?
No, I have it right here.
Oh, gotcha.
So we have these that we picked up at the Dollar Tree. So you can come back in.
And yes, you just glue those right onto the Deco mesh. The Deco mesh actually acts as kind of like a netting for the glue.
It's amazing to attach it to. You can come back in and add some floral. You can come in and add your little picks of corn if you wanted picks of corn.
Anything. Pumpkins.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in here. You can add some acorns. People like these pipe berries, I think is what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking to see what they look like. So if you wanted to incorporate some, you could. Just flip you over like so. Bend you around. I mean, there's
pretty, love it.
I wouldn't want him to get too far in. But I just think it's everything that's reminiscent of fall. So this one even has like a little baby pine cone attached. So again, staying with Symmetrical Steve, that's what I call him. This guy's a little too long. There you go. And he even has like a little baby pine cone on him. These are the ones these are what everyone asked us to pick up when we went to Michael's. They have these little baby styrofoam pumpkins. You can take these and kind of tuck them in. You would glue them if you like them where they're at.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But it,
Yep.
I know, right? Let me see if I can stuff a pipe cleaner on him. Will he fit? Yeah. So they're just styrofoam. So you can make your own pick. So let's see if he will tentatively stay inside. So I can like lift it up and show you that you can take it up a notch. You don't have to just leave it as a basic bubble. So you can pop it a little bit more. So yeah, like Steve says, if I liked the way this looked, and I'll put it up there and see if I like it, then you would come back in, you'd pull your sticks out, you know, glue them and then slide them back into their proper spot. So let's see what it looks like. I'm not expecting the pumpkin to stay because he's not really on there. There he goes. So, and none of the picks are in it to stay. But I would probably fix the ribbon a little bit more. Probably bring down another ribbon tail down from the top. So I would make it, I'm trying to see where the other top ribbon is. Here it is. Okay. Let me see if I can, without destroying everything.
Yep.
Like that. That's why you would, I am particular like that, like I want to see it first beforehand. And then
She would go back in and glue everything.
glue everything if I liked it. If I didn't, I would just pull it out. And of course, once it's glued in there, it has some more play in it than I have in it right now. But and then I need it to not cover my sign. So something along the lines. And again, he's going to kind of tumble out tentatively. But I don't like my signs covered. Or the ribbon sticking way over there.
Right.
Or the leaves sticking way over there.
So you'd go back and fix all that and glue everything back in.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to see a ton of stuff. Just like so. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Now that I got out of the way,
Yeah, I've got it zoomed in.
I think it turned out good. Considering that we tried something totally and completely different, right?
Yep.
So what do you guys think? Look okay? Like I said, it's user preference. You can pick and choose what you like, not like. You don't have to add the floral to it. You can just leave it with no leaves in it. I just kind of incorporated it because it was in the ribbon already.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that look. So
And once the video's done, we'll go back in and we'll glue everything in place.
yeah,
And
add
be
some
done.
more flowers and make it look a little bit prettier.
It's already beautiful.
I know, but I would
Everybody
just,
says gorgeous,
I
elegant,
would fix
love it.
that so that it's tucked down better. Of course, it just keeps doing that. But yeah. So that's just simple. That's taking it from, the only thing we used as far as Deco mesh was a 21-inch Deco mesh roll. One roll of the 2.5-inch ribbon to go round. You could go thinner.
Mm-hmm.
You can go 1.5 inch and take your ribbon a little thinner and not make it so thick. You can go smaller sign if you want, change out your sign, go something totally different. It's entirely up to you.
Everybody said gorgeous, pretty. Faith asked a question.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I've been wondering if you create your bows this way with the bow dabra, making larger loops at the bottom, leading to smaller loops at the top. Is there really a need to purchase the Pro Bow?
depends. If you want something to just start with, I would probably start with the Bodabra. Number one, expense-wise, it's the cheaper of the two. What I find with the Pro Bow is it makes perfect bows. So your loops are exactly the same. Your tails can be, longer, smaller, depending upon where you cut them. What I like is the versatility that I can get out of the Pro Bow. Or not the Pro Bow, but like the Bodabra.
You can use it for curls.
Yeah, like when we're doing the funky bows, like if I wanted to do something like this, because this is what we'll be doing in our Halloween lantern swag, is I can go, say for example, this, do a ribbon really quick, or do a bow, do a tail kind of thing, like so. And then if I wanted, I can go crazy long on one side, or I can go super short and then lay in additional pieces of ribbon, which help when you have a lot of leftover ribbon pieces. You can make funky bows with the Bodabra. So you can make them all various different sizes, and go, a long tail on the left side, shorter tail on the right, and then completely opposite on something else. That works really good for the lantern swag. I haven't seen, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, I haven't seen that you can do that with a Pro Bow. Like long, I guess you could do the tails, but the ribbon loops, I guess it would depend on how you, you can go short peg and then you can go long peg, but it's just easier to do this. It's like, for me, how the people who can do freehand bows, this gives me that extra hand that'll hold it while I kind of pick and choose whatever color I want to come next.
You could do multiple things with a Pro Bow, but you have to be really efficient with it.
I'm not
and
there yet.
It's a little more difficult than the Bodabra.
I got the basic and the terry bow down, and I like using it, but I have different application styles for it. Like if I wanted something more perfect, like didn't we do this with this I think we did with the Pro Bow. So it's more precise. Everything is perfectly symmetrical.
Right.
All the loops are exactly the same size. If I want 2 loops, 4 loops, whatever, it just makes everything a perfect bow.
Right.
But I sometimes don't want things perfect. I want them slightly irregular. Okay guys, well, I will see this group on Friday at 5. I haven't figured out what we're making yet. Probably something Halloween related, because this month is basically Halloween themed, maybe a little bit of fall, and then next month will be predominantly fall, little bit of Halloween, but starting to get into Christmas. So you'll start to see the evergreens and more grapevine type of stuff. So
And then we'll see everybody in the private group in about an hour and a half.
an hour and a half, right back here, completely. We have a lot of work to do in like an hour and a half to deconstruct everything here. So thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to message me, messenger me, inbox me. You can email me if that's your preference. It's KatsCreations777@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. If you want to go to my Etsy shop, you just go to etsy.com/shop/KatsCreations, or just KatsCreations777 in the Etsy thing will pull up my shop.
And the wreath will be available on our Etsy page.
It's already there.
It's already there?
Yeah.
And I've already posted the link and pinned it. So
You were the bomb. Thank you for all that you do.
okay.
All right, guys, we'll see you in a little bit. Talk to you guys soon.